please chime in and say, yes, you are in fact having an after show. So all the folks that are on tonight, you can hang out and play with Andy after this. There you are, Andy Living Loud. Thank you, Andy. And I guess that's it. We're done. What a great show. Ernie, J-Dub, thank you guys very much. Stephen, thank you. And we'll see you guys on the 23rd.
And it is Living Loud with Andy time. The Kicker Unmasked after show. The new graphics card going full tilt boogie in the Kicker computer. And it's Tuesday. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you had fun watching Kicker Unmasked. Of course, Aaron squared tonight. AA Ron, AA Aaron. However it works. You guys did great, but now we get to talk about more science sound, scene sound, the science of sound, physics sound, sight sound. Yes, I'll see you guys in 3 minutes. Oh, and don't forget to look at it. Yeah. Roll the clip, Bernie. Come on, roll the clip. Appreciate you, man. And I am just looking at the list of gifted green team memberships. Love you guys. Are you ready for tonight? I know I am. We're gonna have fun. It's Tuesday. And yeah, don't forget to kick the mat. That is crazy, Miguel.
Live and love with Andy.
Well, I hope you can have some fun with us tonight. It is Tuesday. This is a kicker show. I mean, there's a lot of kicker in the studio, and we do this every Tuesday alongside Kicker and the Kicker Unmasked show, and this is the after show. Thank you so much for tuning in. But the rest of you, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. We're going to have an awesome show. We're definitely going to look at it. Of course, we're going to look at it.
My dad said, you have to take a look and you have to look at it.
Right. Okay.
So that's what I've been doing. What do you do?
What do you do? I'm looking at it. Casey's looking at it, and she just won. Well, husband, wives. Congratulations, by the way. Thank you for watching last Tuesday, and here we are again Tuesday, but the Unmasked after show. No prizes here. That's what the 8:30, 7:30 Central shows are for. But thank you guys for hanging out. Appreciate ya. Awesome sauce. Oh, we got both of them in here tonight. Appreciate you guys. Of course, we got Wade. Thank you for hanging out, Wade. Welcome, Miguel. Thank you, Wade, for keeping Kicker Club kicking, and we're almost at 100,000 members. It's crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy. When I first started Kicker Club, I did not think it was going to be like that. Like, it is almost as big as every single big car audio group, and it's just one brand. So that just goes to show a lot. And it started like that. Didn't get bought out. Always still living loud. Hello, bud. Say hello to the family, and congratulations, CAO. Thank you for tuning in, man. See, you got a gifted green team membership from Kicker Car, and I forgot to roll the clip.
Cue the drum roll. All right, open your boxes. Open your boxes. What? You get a green team membership. You get a membership. The membership. The membership. The membership. The membership. The membership. You all get a green team membership.
You all get a green team membership. That's how I feel every time that video plays, man. Thank you, Kicker Car. But yes, CAO, thank you for tuning in, and I will say hello to the family. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I hope you and your loved ones are doing well this winter. Christmas is almost here. Man, I can't even buy stuff on Amazon. The 2-day Prime does not exist anymore. It's like 5 days if you're lucky. But either way, having fun. And we got it's just rolling in now. We got Eric throwing out the Canadian coins.
I got pennies.
They're not technically pennies, but either way, thank you so much, Eric. Thank you for your support on the show financially and just tuning in, man, sharing, commenting. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for hanging out. I hope everybody had an awesome time watching Kicker Unmasked. I love when they do demonstrations. They bring the young kids in from college, from OSU, right down the street. And then he's like, I love the question when he was like, oh, why is it only doing it on that frequency? And it's like, that's the key. That's the key. And that's the resonance. That's the resonant. That's the whole purpose of that. And then you can take that into car audio to the extreme, and that is an SPL build, And yeah, so it's just fun. It is fun. And there is Mr. SDK himself.
I got pennies.
Oh, man, you know what? Speaking of 23 pins, yeah, we were running on 23 pins out of 24, and we got the GPU working. Thank you guys, Mike, and Mr. SDK, because he's just the emotional support for Mike. Mike's my emotional support, and my tech guy, IT tech guy, and computer guy. They got the brand new 5070 Ti up and running, helped me out, and let me tell you, man, it's not as easy as you think when you just swap graphics cards. You got to get rid of the old drivers. Otherwise, let's just say we almost did not have the show tonight. So thank you, Mike, and of course, Jake in the background there. Get me through it, man. It's like, it's that curve, you learn about something and you think you know it all, and then you realize you know nothing. And that's when you gotta call Mike. Thank you so much, though, Jake, and thank you for just hanging out with us and doing what you do. Appreciate your support over the years. And yes, 23 pins. 23. That's good. It was running on 23 pins. That's what drove me nuts. That's what I was like, I broke it. I broke it. I broke it. Thank you, Mike Pillow. Appreciate you, man. They keep changing it. I think that's Dev. Thank you so much, man. And we got to look at it.
Would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. You got to look at it this way, okay? You just got to look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
You do. You just got to look at it and say, would you look at that? You just got to look at it. But thank you so much for gifting the Green Team memberships, man. You guys are on a roll tonight. Why is that video not playing? Come on, play it, play it, play it. Yeah, I had to fix all this last night, too. We'll go with that one. That's 2 videos that ain't working. Long story short, I had to delete Streamlabs, connect all my buttons again. I have been busy, but we had to get ready for the show, so thank you guys for tuning in. And sorry, Kayla got you on fantasy. You gotta watch out, man. I mean, she did win 1 year. She ain't playing. She ain't playing. Thanks for hanging out, bud. Roll the clip. You gotta roll the clip. Speaking of which, where's Uncle Bobby B at? That's where we need. That's what we need to roll.
Bobby B, baby.
Where's he
Uncle
at?
Bobby B.
I know he's in here somewhere. He's always first, never last. Appreciate you, Uncle Bobby B. Thank you, Eddie, for hanging out with us. Eddie Hernandez. And let's see. Okay, so that's just really far behind. Appreciate you again, Eric. Yeah, Streamlabs is like, my computer was, we're good to go. But you're not missing this one, Eric. No, he's not, Mr. Cornut. See, now Cornut's not working either. Cornut was, there we go. Cornut's always glitching. Come on. Good enough. Thank you, Cornut. Appreciate you tuning in. Mike, and Jake are awesome. Thank you for hanging out. Garrick, hope you're doing well, sir. Hope the family are doing okay, and I hope your health is doing better, sir. Appreciate you tuning in. And there is Mr. Duffy on Facebook. Come on, click it. There we go. Mr. Duffy, thanks for hanging out, Seth. That's my right-hand man right there. Car audio and ceiling tiles. Doesn't matter which, either one. Awesome person right there. Thank you for hanging out, man. Appreciate you. And we got to get him on the show, man. We got to get him on the show. He's been a basshead for a very long time, and he has a few challenges the rest of us do not have, yet he is loud. And we have to do that. We have to do it. Appreciate you, Mr. Duffy, for tuning in. Shannon, how you been, sir? Throwing the L7Xs. We still need to update that. We need the L7X and the XS. Ah, man, so many things I got to do. I didn't think that graphics card was going to be that challenging, and it was. John Reed, thank you for hanging out on Facebook. I don't know, my clicky things like a little delayed there, but everything's working. It's okay. We're surviving. Thank you for hanging out on Facebook. You guys are great. And you know what? Just give it a share. Throw it in Kicker Club again. Throw it on Baseheads on a Budget. I feel like, we make this platform just so people have a place to hang out and then also learn something. Like the after show, we're just kind of talking about what Kicker did or just Q&A. But, every other Tuesday, we turn up the game just a little bit. We definitely do. Thanks for hanging out. Jason, hope you're doing well, sir. James, I gotta remember that CAO. You gotta love, CAE, CAO. Everybody's got LLWA, KWA, you don't know the lingo? No, you gotta have it. You gotta have it. Thanks for hanging out, Jason. Appreciate ya. Hope you've been well, sir. And there is Dubby. Oh my goodness.
Installs.
What? He took over. Okay, maybe the switcher's going. Press W and Cornut just takes over. That usually happens at the end of the show, not in the beginning. Awesome to see you make it on Big D's audio channel list, Annie's. Thank you, Dubby. And man, if we didn't only just do live streams, this channel would be huge, But that is my part, and I love doing it. And I feel like a lot of people know that we do this between Kicker and I. And I'm just along for the ride. And you guys have been here since day one. But yeah, that was an honor to be on that show of top 25 most underrated car audio YouTube channels. Thank you again, Derek. Derek's awesome, man. I consider him my friend. And, he loves Kicker. He always kind of has. But, he tests everything. So you get that unbiased review of all different products. So Big D, Amp Dyno guy, I mean, I feel like we all look up to Big D Wiz. I don't care who you are, in some form or fashion, respect, or just in awe. I love Derek. Thank you for tuning in, Dubby. Appreciate ya. CMF, yes. Cornet. He takes it over, man. It happens. Shannon. Miguel, what is good? Thank you for hanging out, Miguel. I don't know if this is the same Miguel, but yeah, YouTube is definitely where it's at. Living Loud with Andy. That's why I put on the top there for the show. Whenever I'm not doing the kicker giveaways, to have my website, livingloud.tv, so you can find me if you're on Facebook, YouTube, whatever, merch stuff. And also, I just added, it was from my old website, and I just made it better, of a power chart. If you're ever trying to figure out how big of a power wire that you need, regardless if it's AC or DC, it's just current and yes, gauge size wire. So it's more for DC, but it still does carry over to AC. It's just less current, higher voltage, yada yada yada. But you get what I'm saying. It's a nice tool to have. And for car audio, I mean, there's not a time when I'm thinking, what size wire do I need? It's kind of rule of thumb. Anything over like 300 amps, yeah, you're going to need more than one 0 gauge wire. But 4 gauge, how much can I get away with? 100 amps, 150 or less, and that's where that thing comes into play for the length. And just, I like having it on the website. It's not just a find me and buy my merch. It's not about that. It's just, it's there. There you go. Cool. Bring something to the table and just a landing page. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me, though, tonight. I hope everybody's having an excellent Tuesday. It's snowing. I'm excited. Yes, that's about it. Thank you, Lisa Cruz, Miss Wade, for liking on Facebook. Appreciate you so much. Love when those things work like they're supposed to. Of course, MBE, of course. But he's not 25 underrated because he has so many subscribers. But absolutely, man. I feel like, he did a couple that were like up into 80,000s, but like Bear Vids, he's not from the United States. So you might not know he exists if you're living under a rock, or maybe not. I don't know. But he was definitely on that list too. Let's see here. Thank you, ZX Rider, for hanging out. And always, man, depending the show, I try to get prepared a little bit, but I'm always watching the Kicker Unmasked show. I got the comments over here. I'm just hanging out with you guys, getting ready to go live after. And I try to comment as much as I can, but I'm like here putting like little extra videos like this one, just like,
My dad said, you have to take a look and you have to look at it.
Right. Okay.
So that's what I've been doing. What do you do?
I had to put it up, man. The Volvo. If you know the Volvo, you know. And but otherwise, yeah, I'm always watching, man. And I appreciate you hanging out, watching Kicker Unmasked. I love what they do there. It's awesome. They just bring something to the table each and every time they go live. Thank you, CAO. You are the show, brother. You earned it, man. And I don't know how I got here, but we're here, man. But thank you for the kind words. And congratulations to you as well for the top 25 underrated channels. And you just started, and that just goes to show you are doing it the right way. And I've been watching your stuff, man. I like how you're doing it, and you're just keeping it simple, but yet you're also addressing the winner, the loser, which is better in sound competitions, just different stuff. I like that. I like comparisons, because whenever I'm looking up something and it's not car audio, I'm always typing in what is the best. And I'm like, why am I typing this? But that's how I start to find some answers for some products, and I find the right channel. And I feel like your channel is a channel to find the right and wrong of each product. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, sir. I've heard my name on at least 6 MBE YouTube videos. Oh, man, you got the 8s, and just that is MBE. Is the it was the QL78. Well, now it's the Solo X8. But still, 8s are his thing, and then, with your 8 and then double 8 system, it's just, yes. He's like, yeah, you see how loud my buddy is doing the 50, And yes, you fit right in there. Now, thank you, Kicker Car, again. Appreciate you hanging out and your support. And love what you're doing, getting ready for some bigger stuff, man. And just thanks for hanging out, dude. Thank you so much. Yeah, MBE is awesome. I seen his show. I tried tuning in. I think it was Monday. He was live and he brings on a couple of his buddies, but like I'm always driving, so like I can't really watch the shows, you know. I want to. I miss it. I do miss it. Gotta drive for Dad. Mom, just tune in. Love you, Mom. Thank you for hanging out. Tell Lee I said hello and she has to go to bed soon. Stat. Love you. Thank you for hanging out. Hope you're doing well. How did that meeting go this morning? You got to text me. He is a great guy. Big D. Absolutely, man. He's a big dummy, but he is a great guy. He's a great guy. What was he saying about kicker car? Hopefully, it's always good. It's always good. I don't know why my clicky thing's being all weird. Maybe I got to do it like, yeah, it's like, that's weird. I don't know why it's doing that. It's like doing something else. I had to refix everything. It's running, but still. Car audio brings so many people from all walks of life together. And it does, man. You know, we don't all have to have the same passion to begin with, but it's like you do love music. You have to love music to be watching this, to be putting a loud system in your car. Maybe it is just about bragging rights. Some people, or I think they do that. That does exist. But usually they find a person that loves audio that does that already, so. Sure does. How my L78s are louder than his. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing, too. It's like, there's nothing wrong with his box. There's nothing wrong with his design. Every design is going to be different. And it's like, what is it geared for? Numbers more so? Or music or lows? You know, and there's that, and then what vehicle is it in? You know, if I put a Solo X, or just, for example, the quad box in my dad's car versus the Pilot, where it's a mid-size SUV, then like a full-size SUV, the numbers are going to be inflated, you know, on the same power. And that's what you have to take into account. So numbers mean something, but they don't mean everything. So you can't really always just compare your build against somebody else's, but just kind of know what yours does and what it was designed to do. And if you're happy with that, that's kind of the whole point of why you built it, is to be happy with it. You yourself, you know, a number is only one thing. Yeah, it'll drive you crazy. Get that 150. Then you're like, oh, I gotta get loud. I gotta beat that guy. But that's a whole different thing than just beating down the block, sounding good. And that's the main point. That is the main point. Everything else is extra. Everything else is extra. John, yes. Oh, and if you're louder, he might not be too happy. Andy, it's official Praisinator setting in my... Awesome, dude. Awesome. I'm glad. I can't wait to see that done. You know, I know you've been waiting a long time to get your build put together. And I know you've been waiting to run that other sub from that other brand. But I mean, an L7 XS 18... Just throwing it out there, man. I'm just throwing it out there, okay? Thanks for hanging out, man. You know, and I've already went down that lane of, you know, 150 possible with 2.8s. Yes. Does, you know, and it's gonna be a one-trick pony, you know, and that's bottom line. Just like the tube that they were doing tonight, that thing is literally a one-trick pony. I mean, depending on the harmonics, each octave, that's the next trick. But it depends. The first tuning, the first resonant frequency is going to have the highest amount of output. And that's kind of what the 2.8s doing a 150 does. You know, it's geared to do that and that alone. And anything above and below, it does nothing. And like you've seen it, like barely moved any of the balls. It's doing nothing compared to that certain tone. So that's just physics. Bottom line. There he is. Now we can roll the clip.
Uncle Bobby B, baby. Uncle Bobby B.
Uncle Bobby B is in the building. Thank you for hanging out, sir. Okay, so comments are working. Now it's like really huge, but this is working. Gotta do a little bit of tweaking, but it's okay. Just glad the studio's working, man. Not gonna lie, I was kind of freaking out. You know, I'm like, I don't have a computer. I can't do either of my jobs. You know, you call either of them a job? Not really. I mean, it's just pretty laid back jobs. Still, couldn't do anything. This is the livelihood. This kicker computer is the livelihood. And man, working on it with that giant nocturnal, however you pronounce it, CPU fan cooler is just insane. I love you guys. I mean, this is literally one of the best CPU coolers, but it's huge. It's too big, man. It's so hard to work around that thing. And, you know, just everything else. But SJC went crazy on the wiring too. Like, talk about clean wire club. I wish I had the picture here. I was going to have some things rolled up, but I'm like, it's okay. I'll post it on Facebook. Super, super clean. Now it's all butchered. I had to redo the fans because I could not fit the new GPU in there with 3 fans on the front. Now we just literally have 2. You can see over here, we literally just have 2 lights right here. I had to take out the 3rd one and then redo all the wiring for the lights and then just pain in the butt and then rewire, add more power supplies because now this takes 3 runs of, we'll call it for the people that don't know computers, 3 runs of 0 gauge. Like, this thing needs some power. This is like a Warhorse 10K compared to a regular CX1800. It'll be a good comparison of power between the two for sure. But still, you get the idea. Lots of fun. And hopefully the stream looks a little bit better. I mean, that's kind of what I was going for. And also just whenever I'm doing a bunch of things, how everything's gonna just work and just, you know, just the usual stuff. Let's see here. And we got a, I see it right there. I see it right there. All right, let me pull it up. We got to look at it. Would
you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. You got to look at it this way, okay? You just got to look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
We're going to look at it. MBE is famous for the quarter wave tapered T-line folded horn. And also, David took Goliath down with a stone. Lord told me to pick up this paperclip. Oh man, that's funny. But right, you know, and I feel like, okay, whenever I started to learn building boxes, right, and I am no pro by any means. I use very basic software. Frank, I know you emailed me about some software. I need to get back to you on that. I use basic stuff between the Kicker U app, Ultimate Car Audio app, and you know, I've messed with Basebox Pro, you know, online or whatever. But really, it's like, you know, hand drawn out, Ultimate Car Audio app, Kicker recommended specs, and my experience. And in the beginning, I found like this thing, right? And it's literally what MBE kind of does. And it's built big, right? And I would do it not exactly how he did. He has really long ports and big ports. I learned if I have a big box and a smaller port, I have low tuning, but I get a lot of output. You know, we're talking big box in relation to the subwoofer or its recommended required airspace. Say if it requires 2 cubes, I'm putting it in 3 and making the port smaller. And it just, you get a lot of output at the low end, and we all want that 40 hertz wasted information stuff, right? So I feel like that's where that box also works with MBE's designs. Not every single one's the same, but it is a big box with a long port, with a big port, and also tuned lower too. That famous 33 hertz test tone. So nothing wrong against it. It's just that is the design that you're paying for. Now, I do wonder the difference between that and maybe like a Bobby Gately box or a Mr. SDK box. I feel like with the SDK box, you're going to get something a little bit more different each time because maybe he is using higher end software. It depends the designer and the builder, you know, and it just, yeah, there's lots of variables, man. There really are. It's like anything. There's going to be pros and cons and, you know, that holy trifecta of price, performance, and just whatever you want to make the third one. Output, I guess. That's important. Thank you, Mr. SDK Enclosures. Appreciate you, sir. I'd send people your way, but you get mad at me. Don't message SDK Enclosures for a box designed whatsoever. Just don't do it. Hey, Jacob, thank you for hanging out, man. Hey, man, long time no speak. How you been? Thank you for hanging out on Facebook. Doing well, man. Just live streaming, cleaning sheets, and yes, that's about it, man. Thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you. And doing good. Just glad the show is going tonight. I was really, really worried. Not gonna lie. All right, I'm behind on the comments here. 415s, L7X, and an HHR. Dude, I seen two 12 L7X in a smart car, and I feel like that's almost the same amount of space. I mean, even Sparked Innovations, he has 415s in his HHR, doing 52, 53s, and I think he was able to squeak out a 54 in that build. Don't quote me. Woo! Okay. Awesome. Noctua for the win. I know it's like the best one, and the more, because I wanted to get a smaller one, and then I'm like, if I go water, I'm gonna have to deal with that in the future because it's gonna start to leak. It's not gonna be as good. I'm just like, it's fine. I'm over it. Mike, I'm not putting the other one in. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. I'm over it. And he knows that sometimes you just gotta step back and look at it. Oh, I couldn't say it any better.
My dad said, you have to take a look and you have to look at it.
Right. Okay.
So that's what I've been doing. What do you do?
Yeah, what do you do? Step back and look at it. Would you just look at it? Would you just look at it? That's all you can do, Will. Thank you for tuning in, Will. When in doubt, more port. Yes, you know, there was a friend that told me that a long time ago, not bringing up names, and he's like, you gotta open up that port. Yeah, I got louder. Sounded worse. Like, it got louder on the meter by like a dB or two, which is a significant difference. But then you tried to play any kind of music, it just was bad. It was bad, it was unloading, it just did not sound good. So there's a trade-off. You know, more port can help. It depends where you're trying to get that bump at increase of volume. A lot of places or just one place. Absolutely, Kicker Car. Absolutely. CAD, C-A-D. I thought a T-line and a horn were two separate things, you know. Well, I think T-line, I believe, is just like, it's the same width, the whole length, and then the horn is like a horn, right? So it goes like, it's real big at the end, and then gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller as you go around all the bends and stuff. Maybe that's, I don't know all the, you know, yeah. I think that would be the two differences if they are different. He had an 8 with a port that was 24 inches wide and 14 inches tall. Holy moly, no way. No, he didn't. You're lying. You're lying. There's no way. That is 240 square inches to 4 times 24, 96. 296 square inches of port area for an 8? There's no way. You're lying to me. Wait, you're lying to me. Wait till you get into membrane tuning. I don't even know what that is, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna go with it. Yes. He all the box name together. Okay, yep. Real is Commentano. I messed that up. Thank you for tuning in, Real. How much battery power does it take to run a 5,000 watt system? How much power does it take to run an 8,000 watt system? Budget option, AGM, and lithium option. How big of an alternator? I know it's a lot, and that's a loaded question, and I'll try to sum the answer down as much as I can. When you're talking anything over 2-3K, it's highly recommended that you do eventually upgrade that alternator because you're just playing on reserve time of whatever battery that you have in there. And a 5K amplifier, if you run it normally, it's 1 ohm load, you know, it's a 5K or whatever have you, you know, you're going to be clamping 2, 3, 4,000 watts, so 3 to 4 times what your alternator can supply. So the batteries are going to have to be pretty legit. At least probably 3 AGM batteries for a 5K system, right? And you can get away with that on a stock alternator, but your voltage is going to be into the 11s. 11.5, 11.8. You're going to be really dipping into those batteries and probably even lower. And does that amplifier like that? Not really. You try to keep your amplifiers 12.4 and higher. It doesn't have to be exactly that, but you want to keep it higher the better. They just run cooler. They run more efficiently. The parts last longer in the long run. So with an 8K system, you're talking 5, 6, 7 AGM batteries, and it's like, okay, how am I going to fit all of these in there? And that's where lithium comes into play. It's just a lot smaller, lighter, and does the same performance. And that's just LFP. You can even have higher performance with higher voltage with LTO or lithium ion or even sodium cells. So then you're talking to supply 5,000 to 8,000 watt system. You're talking $2,000 to $3,000 of batteries. Now that's if you're buying them pre-built. And if you're not, you're building them yourself, you're still looking over $1,000 for something that can just handle that amount of power. And it all depends what you want to do. And, AGMs, they're not cheap. A Group 31 is about $200 to $300. So to have 3 to 7 of those, you're still in that ballpark range, and your voltage is not going to be that great. And you got all these batteries laying around. Trust me, I did it. I did it. Thank you for tuning in, Real. I would definitely look into talking to somebody when you do plan to run a system that big, exactly what batteries to go with, because the last thing you want to do is waste your money when it's like, man, I could have got these cells instead, got a diode, got a high output alternator, went full tilt boogie on it, and had perfect electrical for like 15% more of what I paid for a bunch of AGMs or a bunch of lithiums that are a lower charging, and it all depends what you're trying to do. I know we definitely need to do another topic on electrical. We definitely do. I love talking about it, and Jake knows that. Jake knows that too well. Salt battery too. Yeah, sodium batteries, I do not have a problem with them. It's just no going in. They're not super cheap for the amount of performance that they do, but you are, in a way, helping out the environment. And they're way more readily available. There is no lithium in there. It's a sodium. That's how it makes the power. It's the electrolyte, and then you're good to go. And you don't have to dig for that. Sodium's everywhere. So, absolutely. It's all about your overall goals and what's most important to you, says the RAM. And absolutely, man, online can be rough. When you're posting up your build and someone says, hey man, blah, 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 what do you meter? And you tell them and you're like, oh, that's it. And it's like the biggest gut punch. But then you have that same person get in your car. You don't tell them how loud it is. And you give them a demo and they're like, damn, like this sounds good. And depending their system, they're like, oh, I want something like this. Or I'm surprised it sounded that good. And maybe that's why the score was lower, is because it's not this one-note wonder box and system. It can play a wider range of frequencies probably than that guy's that's really good on the meter, if you're getting what I'm saying. So you can't always, like, that's the thing I always go to. It's because the meter hurts, man. It hurts. You go to the show, you buy a meter, you put it in the kick, you put it in the dash, you put it wherever. Just don't put it in the port, okay? Like, every score counts, don't put it in the port. I mean, unless you're like, a nerd or something, and you're just trying to see your loss between whatever. Don't do that. But it still hurts, because then, you play the system, you're like, oh yeah, man, this is loud, this is exactly what I wanted, and then you do a 49.5, and you're like, what do you mean it's not a 50? No matter where you put it, you can't get it, and then you go crazy. But that's the fun of it. That's the fun of it. Okay, salt battery, yes. Oh, there we go. There we go. Shoop Dog says, hey.
Yeah, louder, munch the cookie. Also crunchy chocolatey thunder.
Kick the like, and Mr. SDK, he needs a box stat. He needs it stat. Excess power is an excellent choice regardless of, the price. You know what you're getting, and the warranty to boot. And it's just a click, ship, drop, put it right in your car, no problems, you're good to go. Now, which battery from excess power? Not every single one's going to be the best one for car audio, and they do everything. So you got to know walking in. You got to know. I have 2 AGMs at 109 pounds a piece, and that's literally how I popped one of my discs in my back, like herniated it a little bit. I had to do like physical therapy, and it feels good for the most part. Like I don't really feel that pain anymore. Been really like trying to go easy on it, but literally lunging over, putting my Group 31 100 amp hour AGM battery in the basement on the shelf. I just twisted, leaned over, and just felt pain. And I didn't drop the battery. I'm like, oh, and held it and held it and held it and put the battery on the shelf, but did damage. You know what I mean? Lithium, that never would have happened. But it wasn't in the car. I'm just using for backup storage. They're good for backup storage. That's about it. That's about it. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, the X-Max 90 is a 90 amp hour battery from X-Power, and it's a lithium iron phosphate. So out of the lithium chemistries, they're the easiest to run with your stock charging system. Sodium's pretty lenient too, but really sodium's resting voltage is like 12 volts. So that has its pros and cons, right? But yeah, I mean, 13.3, 13.4 resting voltage, it's pretty nice. And, you know, a little bit higher than your AGM or your lead acid, so you don't really need a whole new charging system. Really, I do not recommend the charge. Technically, you shouldn't charge that excess power or any lithium iron phosphate over 14 volts. Not at all. You know, can you charge higher? Sure. You getting anything out of it? No. Could you be doing damage? Not really right away. Over time, yes. You're overcharging the battery, and it's just, you know, you don't need to, what I'm trying to say is you don't need to change your entire charging system. And that's what's nice about it. You're getting all the full tilt boogie out of it without doing major work, right? You run the sodium, really, you should be charging that sodium up to like 15.5, you know, to get all the capacity out of it. And that's what's nice about any other kind of lithium battery. So yes. The XS 90, it's easy. Lithium iron phosphate, it's easy. CAO says 150 club for life. You always remember your first 150, man. And it's like back in high school. No, it took a long time for me. But yes, you just don't forget, you know. I literally caught it on video because, like, I built the new box for Cookie Monster, the second one, and that was like the whole goal of that one was to get a 50. And I'm sitting there filming it with the laptop there, and I caught that moment. I'm like, 150. It was like 150.5. Like, it was high enough to go over. I was like, yes, like that's legit. It's not a joke. I was so happy. And then, all right, let's do 150 at the headrest. We're going to need an L7X for that one, and that's what it took. Because I could not get a 150 at the headrest with the original Solo X. It just did not do it. It did not do it. Not at all. And it would, but I would need the 10,000 watt amplifier clamping like 4,500 watts on it, and it would not last. It would not last at all like that. And I had the same amount of power on the L7X, and that's how I demo. That's the power handling difference between the two. And yes. Okay, so I think I caught up to the comments, I believe. Yes, I did. It's a reality check. Thank you, Derby King, for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. You know what? We gotta throw up that one. Let's see here. Oh, wait, no, it's over here. I moved everything around. There it is. There it is. He took a look at it.
That's a live stream? Yeah. Would you look at that?
I took a look at it. Huh?
Oh, yeah. Would you look at it?
Yeah.
You looked at it.
I looked at it.
Very good.
I kept looking at it.
He kept looking at it, and he subscribed. Thank you so much, Derby King. And yes, Dubby. It's a reality check, and it's a heartbreaker. There we go. That's why, because it keeps clicking the actual things, and they won't throw up the comment. It's clicking the word. I can fix that. Meter breaks hearts. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And that's the thing, though. That's the thing. You know, don't let it make your day too sad. Just make it so that you want to get louder, and that's it. Introduce a Bob Marley cover of No Women, No Them, and No Boxes, No Cry. I don't get the joke. Sorry, I don't get it. Sorry, SDK. I love you, man. 11.1 volts. That's fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Thank you for tuning in, Adrian. Where is Bubba? I do not know where Bubba is. Boom goes Bubba, though. I feel like we could play it. I still have it in the cache of videos here somewhere. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Oh, it's been a while. We got the Cool Club. We got the Cornet. No. Nope. Voted off the island. Voted off the island. Hope he's doing well, though. Hope he's doing well. I'm hoping my third chance will be a 150 dB, man. I mean, I feel like in the hatchback with the 18 that you got, with the right amount of power in that enclosure, you'll get there. You just need the right amount of power. That's all, you know? And it's bore and stroke, baby. It is bore and stroke. Size of that piston and how far it will go. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, he is MIA. Bubba, search party engaged. Don't. They will bring him here. They will bring him here. El Fuego's probably relaxing. Yeah, usually he's here early. John Smith is usually early too. It keeps highlighting the darn name. There we go. Yo, thank you for tuning in, John. Appreciate you, sir. No Discord party. I want to do that just like I want to go live on Fridays, but now I just have to work, and it just drives me insane. It drives me insane. Tuesdays are my day to literally catch up on a few things around the house. Tuesday night after we're live. But we do the Discord party, special occasions only. I mean, we got Christmas and New Year's. We're definitely going to do something for New Year's. You know that. You know that, Adrian. Come on now. You know that. We out here, my first time on the meter, depressed the heck out of me. And that's the thing, man. That's the thing. You just don't let it drive you crazy. Just don't let it drive you crazy. Because, you know, that number does kind of make you stack up beside somebody else. But even when you're in the lane, like when I competed all this year, you know, I'm going up against systems that are bigger than mine. Yeah, I have a smaller car, but they're bigger. They got more power. They got more woofers. Or it's vice versa, like the years prior. I'm going up against cars that are smaller than mine, playing a higher frequency, yet in mecha standards, frequency does not matter. You know, all year long with Cookie Monster, I was peaking at 35 hertz. Last time I was doing it was 32 hertz, 33 hertz. That's how I'm doing the 151.8 at the headrest. 32, 33 hertz. It's very impressive. And I love John. He does great. And that's who I was going up against all year, but it was at 40-something hertz, 45 hertz. And whenever you do that, it's like you can't just compare the SPL number by itself. But again, you get in that system that is at 45 hertz, it's going to be more like teeth rattling, head rattling than the 33 hertz build. The 33 hertz build, even though it's just as loud, it's just going to sound like not smoother, but it's lower bass. You know, you feel the pressure, you see things moving, but it doesn't like make your eyeballs shake as aggressively at the same amount of dB threshold. So the scorer only tells half the truth. Because honestly, when I got in John's car, I'm like, how am I just as loud as you? You sound louder than me. And it's because it's at that higher frequency. And, well, he has a little bit more power too. But still, you get what I'm saying. It's just that higher frequency can make it feel louder. And the meter does not register that for some reason. And I'm sure that's not because it's supposed to. It's because how your body is perceiving that output at that frequency with the environment around you, with the door panels rattling apart and cracking. You know, it's if you sit in a system and close your eyes and then open them, When they're open, it will seem louder because then you can see everything flying. You can see the towels flying. The dashboard is broken in 3 pieces. The cracks just flapping. It just seems louder because of all those things. And that's the environment as well, alongside with everything else. So the number, it means only so much. Maybe 33%. That's what it means. It means 33%. Not even 50. SDK said, true base head advice, if you are happy with your system, stay off the meter. It's pointless unless you're competing. Right, I like to, I got the ear meter now. Whenever you have your own meter, you can kind of tell how loud something is just because of all the other things you play around with. I can just tell, okay, it's 45 or it's not. And I feel like that's the goal with most of my systems. It's like, as long as it does like a 45, like, that's good. That's loud. Below, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, it's like I need that little extra for a daily. I'm Andy. I need that. This is what we do, right? I don't need something extravagant. My loudest build's not even over that. But still, I could do some more. I'm not complaining, but still. Right. And, it's just, it can drive you crazy, man. And right, competing is fun. You don't want to be stagnant. That's the last thing you want to do. You want to be happy with your system, but then you also want to have more, but in a positive way, not as in a negative, like, man, my system's not good. That guy's is so much better. More like, maybe next year, I'm going to build a different type of enclosure. I'm going to fix the electrical some more, and then I'm going to add a bigger amplifier, vice versa. And maybe I'll go with 2 instead of 1 woofer because I'm ready to make that next step to make it even louder. But then I have to do all these other steps as well to make your system louder, better, more for you. So absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for the knowledge, sir. And almost Justin, when does the music start? He just wants to know when the intros start, and that's all. Thank you for hanging out, Justin. Appreciate you tuning in. And this guy's definitely not on the top 25 underrated. Everybody knows who Mr. DIY Audio Guy is. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. And hope you and the family are doing well, sir. And your loved ones. Can you hit 150 dB on music with 312s sealed, 1,000 on each sub? 312s doing a 50 in a box that's not a burp box, one note wonder, is 1,000% achievable. With most 12s, we'll say, something that's got 500, 600 watts RMS and more, and, decent amount of travel and the right vehicle and the right kind of tuning, not super low. Yes, it could definitely get that 150 with the right amount of power, especially 312s. You could technically do it with any 312s. You could go to buy the Kicker comps from Walmart and have 312s and do a 150. Everyone's like, wait, what did he say? At like 55 hertz in a hatchback in a SPL burp vehicle on probably 2,500 watts on a burp. That's the thing. Does that count? Well, yeah. And that's just the same thing with the 2.8s doing a 50. Yeah, but is it actually musical? Can you play music that's close to that range where the F3 isn't like 10 dBs down? That's the difference. You don't need to have it play 30 hertz of, just range. Oh man, my system can play 50 hertz as loud as it can play 20 hertz. And if you can, you're giving up somewhere, right? I'm talking at least a 10 hertz range where it's just everything is really close, And that's reasonable. That's definitely reasonable. And people might even have smaller than that and still be okay with that and then find themselves playing the same type of song over and over, but it still sounds like music because it's playing more than 2 or 3 frequencies. It's playing 6 or 10. So, right. Absolutely is doable with the 312s on 1,000 watts each. That's the only thing that I would be like, okay, well, it just depends how efficient that enclosure is. Does it need more power or less. There's guys in Street 1 that you only can have 750 watts, not including the sub. So if you have a 12, you're down to 650 watts of max power, and guys are doing 49s, and they have less than 312. So it is 1,000% doable. Just depends for your average person or for the competitor. And I feel like for the average person, 312s should be enough to get you there to the 150, but it really does depend on the vehicle. If it's a smaller vehicle, you have a better chance. Big SUV, think quad box. You know, can you do it? Yes. Do you need a little bit of power? Yes. But the quad box is it peaks high, but it has a wide operating range. So, absolutely. Thank you, John Smith. Appreciate you. He is out eating with the fam. It's okay. I know he's 3 hours behind. It's dinner time for him. Tell him I said hello. Let's see. That would be hard, but not impossible. Right. The 312s, 150. Absolutely. Donald Logan. I made it. Workflow. Thanks for hanging out. We're live and it's late. And, yeah, we got a couple minutes. Last questions. Drop them down below. I mean, we've been doing a QA session this whole time anyway. Oh, why is everything glitching? I feel like I messed something up and the computer's just a little hesitant, but it's okay. It'll be fine. I restarted to work great. But thank you, Donald Logan. Appreciate you. If metering is important to you, do a lot of testing. Right. You know, and that's what I do. You know, I don't go crazy. I went kind of crazy this year because I was actually competing with Cookie Monster for the first time, and it got me out of my comfort zone. And I did not like that. But now at the end of the season, it's like, okay, you know, I didn't win states, but I did beat him on the last show of the year. That technically counts for next year, but I beat him. I did something I was trained to be able to do, and everything that I kept doing was failing. And whenever I achieved that, it was worth all of the stress and anxiety and doubt. So it's not, you know, yeah, I was getting bent out of shape over it, but I'm so happy, dude. He came over and he was like, what did you get? I'm like, 51.8. And he's like, what? And it was louder than he did all year in that class. And I'm like, yes. And that was a good happy ending. They don't always end happy like that, man. You can spend all that time and lose, because that's literally what I thought I did. I went to states and I lost. I was sad. And I just kept going, man. I kept going. I'm like, I know I want to try something else. Who knew? Smaller port, louder score. Bigger port doesn't always answer. It does not. Now, I had an excellent time, though. But right, you have to do a lot of testing. Let's see here. Me either, but I don't want to hear. I want them to hear me before they see me. And absolutely, man, that is the horn. It's either my bass or my lights. If you know how many lights I got on the RAV, you know. Yeah, that and the music. Joe, thank you for hanging out. I don't know why this is being so funky with me right now. Let me close this, see if that helps any. Maybe that's what it is. What's the best way to float stuff with a sedan trunk with a single 12? Okay, so not every situation is going to work like this, but I've seen good results both ways. You know, trunk subwoofer fire into the back, port whichever way, right? As long as it can fit. Using the trunk as additional cabin space, but then also, what also can work too is sealing off that rear trunk, like just having the sub fire into the car and also the port, and designing in a way so that you can still get that low end bass, which is going to make it easier to have levitation, lift, acoustical levitation, call it that, to hair trick, to float towels. Higher frequencies can, but it's almost like it's like the opposite way of like how our ears hear better at higher frequencies. It's easier to float things at lower frequencies, and I feel like that is because just physics of lift, of like something being pushed back and forth, because that's what we're doing, right? And since it's slower, it's kind of holding that item up, rather than when it's going faster in a shorter wave, it's not really holding it up until it's so much output, it's just blowing it out the window. But that's a whole nother story too. But, man, an L7X, even in Kayla's car in a hatchback, I can float both windows down. Tow. Just how that vehicle works, which is kind of crazy, you know? And now I got Cookie Monster being able to do the same thing, and it was weird because Kayla's car did it better with a 12 until I adjusted the box and made the port smaller, tuned a little bit lower. And I feel like that was the biggest takeaway. If you want to be able to, like, hair trick, you want to be able to lift things, float things, tune lower, but also build bigger, you know what I mean? And make sure you have the woofer that has that amount of displacement to do it, you know? Because that woofer is, with the port, is doing that. You need something decent to be able to float things. You really do. Thank you for tuning in, Joe Kessler on Facebook. Appreciate you guys both on there. Awesome sauce. And thank you for hanging out. All right, what's the best way to find local car audio shows? Brian Adams, thank you for hanging out. You know, I feel like, what was it? CAO, Car Audio, was starting to make something. I think he was talking about making that on a website. I know somebody tagged me in something. I forget who it was. They made a list of all the big shows around here. Like, you know, just like Slamology, all of them, like, you know, big ones. But the local shows, I mean, I feel like your best chance is Mecha Car Audio or any kind of organization, but I know Mecha Car Audio is kind of like everywhere, and you're going to at least find a car audio show somewhere. Where are you from? Let me know where you're at. 210s, L7 at half ohm. Absolutely, sir. The dual twos. Drop the rear seat, sub and port back. See, it's like not clicking. It's not clicking like how it used to. I got to fix that. Absolutely. You know, and that's the thing. Trunks are a little bit harder to get loud because you got them back seats too. You got to think about, and it's like, really, it's almost like making like some kind of band pass whenever you have like your subs sitting in the back there, and it's like this little cabin, and then it gets bigger. It's like that tapered horn kind of like effect, but not really, but kind of sort of in a trunk, and that can hurt and help, but usually it hurts, depending. Compared to like a hatchback where it's just open and it's already got that, like, you know, tapered angle. Like a hatchback is like that in the back. And that's why you want triangle looking cars, kind of square, but not, you know, too sharp of an angle, depending the frequency, depending the box orientation, the sub, and everything else. When you're talking SPL, it gets crazy. Kicker car facts. I'm calling the caboose, says Garrick. Uh-oh. He's calling for it. He is we got to roll the clip. I'm all there we go.
The caboose. The sweet caboose powering this team from the rear. That juicy caboose chugging along every week.
Juicy, thick caboose. Jason, alternators only put out what the battery is asking for. Once the battery starts to achieve full charge, the amperage from the alternator drops. You know, and that is the case. So whenever you have the potential difference of the set point and the actual, like, full chargeness of the battery, say 14.4 and you got a regular battery, it's like, you know, 13 volts. Soon as the battery actually hits 13 volts, your voltage might say like, you know, 13.8, 14, but that battery's really at 13 still. Internally, like it's not there yet. You'll tell, soon as your battery is fully charged, your voltage will just spike. And, you know, that's because you have that difference where the alternator set point is and the resting voltage of the battery fully charged, yada, yada. Long story short, you know, the alternator only does stuff whenever that potential difference, the voltage, is different, right? If you're at 14.4 and you're 14.4 at the battery, yeah, you got nothing, right? But if the battery is at 13.5 and your set point is 14.4, that battery's never really going to take much of a charge, but there's still that potential difference. So you still have a little bit of current being transferred from that 14.4 to 13.5 because the AGM doesn't really accept anything over that 14 volts. It's not doing anything. The battery does not need to be charged that high. It's fully charged already. With lithium, it's different, but you kind of get what I'm saying with it. I'm trying to keep it simple. It gets complicated with voltage flow, the current flow, and when your alternator is actually doing something. And even so, like say you're at 14.4, your back battery's fully charged, but you know, like we said, 13.5, really, it's not taking anything more over 13 volts. It's already charged. But then you're playing your amplifier and you're just playing like 50 watts or something. That alternator's doing that 50 watts. Because you're at 14.4. If your alternator set point was at 13, then yeah, the battery's going to do that 50 watts. And then the alternator, as soon as that voltage starts to drop to 12.9, you know, as we go down, then the alternator's like, I'll do more. But since that voltage set point is 14.4, and the battery's not going to do nothing until it hits 13, it does a little bit, but really it's all the alternator. And that is when it just keeps giving out the power. And then your battery really kicks in once you go past that, because once you go past what the alternator can do, you will watch your voltage drop from that 14.4 to that 13.12.6 really fast, and that's how you know you're into your batteries. You're over what the alternator can do. You're into your batteries. Absolutely. There's a lot with batteries and alternators and what they do and when they do it, man. And you have to test it certain times to figure out when each one's doing which one thing, you know, kind of thing. Yes. Jimmy Koke, appreciate you for tuning in. This guy just loves competing, man. He took off. Started Team SP Loud. He used to come out. Now this guy's doing 60s, man. I love it. I love seeing the growth, man. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight, sir. About to wrap it up, and I'm like, how am I going to do a whole hour? I have nothing to talk about. Here we are. I love doing this, and it's probably what we're going to do next Tuesday for Kicking It with Andy. Probably just a QA. I'm actually going to the Pittsburgh Steelers game to watch the Steelers obviously go up against the Miami Dolphins. Thank you, not Nate, that gave me the tickets for not 50% the price. That is going to be awesome, and Kayla's coming with me. No kids. It's going to be great. John Smith, Andy, for Christmas, I need a 50% off discount code. Solo X is calling my name. Ooh. See what I can do, bud. No promises. No promises. It's not rigged. Garrick, if you come to Oklahoma, let me know. Let me know. I need to go to Oklahoma this summer. I definitely do. And how about Irby Lane? How cool is that? I thought they just made that for that Block 34, that kicker, aka Steve Irby, always help out. Big party they always do. First time I went down to Stillwater, Steve's giving me the tour, and I remember him talking about Block 34, and it was coming up, and they just participate with that each and every year. And just really cool that there's actually a road called Irby Lane. How cool is that? How cool is that? Thank you for tuning in, Meek. Have a good night. You as well, sir. And I think on that note, we're going to end it on that one. Have a good night. I get it. I keep clicking the same thing over and over. Love you guys so much. Thank you for watching the Unmasked After Show. Tune in next Tuesday to watch me again. We're just going to do a QA, literally what we did tonight. Have fun, 50% off discount code, all the prizes that you got tonight for the Unmasked show. Bullfrog 100, TW1, 2 headphones. And again, Ernie, J-Dub, Aaron, and of course, Colin and Steve. Awesome job tonight on the Unmasked show. Love you guys so much. And JW, how do you think, how did it feel sitting in Ernie's seat, running all the switchers? Isn't it fun running the switchers and just messing around and going like this and going like that? Just, yeah. And Ernie complains all the time. It's so tough. I don't think so. No, we love Ernie. He does an excellent job every Tuesday. Kudos to you guys. And again, thank you for watching. And I will see you guys next Tuesday. And go Steelers. And OSU. I mean, Rudy's from OSU. Oklahoma State University. I mean, it's just... And Jalen Warren. They're both. I mean, Steeler. Black and yellow. It just goes hand in hand. Love you guys. And as always, stay living loud. Roll it. There you go, Ernie. Come on, Ernie. Come on. Kicker.com/giveaway.
You know what that means? We living loud.
It is time for the music. Kicker, Car, Basehead 30, Adrian, Shoot Dog, Uncle Bobby B. Love you guys. Absolutely real. Thank you for tuning in every Tuesday, 8:30 or 10 o'clock Eastern. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you so much. And of course, Adrian, Kicker Car for the win. But no, here comes Cornut. Cornut. Is it going to play it? Come on, play it. There we go.
He is traveling
installs. No! Kicker Car comes in! Kicker Car's trying to steal it, but no! Eric comes in for the caboose! No way!
The caboose. The sweet caboose powering this team from the rear. That fantastic